If your weight won't move, your sugar keeps spiking, and your belly won't budge, and you're tired, foggy, even when you barely eat, this is for you. Maybe someone said your sugar was borderline, or prediabetes, or nothing at all, and maybe your hormones just feel off. You're in the right place. I'm going to show you what's been blocking your weight loss, why nights keep winning, and the simple path I use in clinic so weight loss becomes hunger-free and your sugars stop running your day. I'm Dr. Yasmine Elamir, quadruple board certified endocrinologist, obesity specialist, internal medicine specialist, and health coach. I used to suffer from diabetes and obesity, but I've also been the mom sprinting between clinic, soccer, ballet, in a sweater that didn't even fit, and I've gotten myself out of what I like to call diabesity. I learned the science, rebuilt my own health, and now I teach people how to do it in the real world, without starving, without guesswork. So secret one, what were you told to do that was right that kept you stuck? I hear this every day. I'm good all day, and then I eat at night. I barely eat, but I still gain weight. My numbers bounce around, I start strong, then it falls apart. See, you did what you were told. It looked right, but it kept you stuck. You were handed a high-carb, low-fat advice. Carbs led the plate, fat and protein got pushed out, and insulin stayed high, hunger stayed loud, and the fat didn't move. You counted calories, points, with no plan for insulin or muscle. And when you cut calories, you usually cut protein, and you lost muscle. And then your metabolism slowed down, and the weight came back, so you yo-yoed like you never had. You tried keto or carnivore as a forever fix, and it helped for a while, but there was no path for diabetes, no plan around your life so that it would be sustainable, and no way back in. So you rebounded, you skipped meals, or you tried to not eat at all. It looked disciplined, but it set you up for a bigger spike later, and a 10:30 p.m. kitchen raid. You started meals with carbs, like oatmeal, fruit, rice bowls, so you spiked first, and protein never had a chance. And you chose low-fat everything, pulled out the foods that kept you full, and brought in light products that didn't help insulin at all. You trained late and didn't eat protein after, and went to bed empty and woke up in the pantry. See, daily patterns that backfired. You did all the cardio and no lifting without muscle. You lose your glucose sponge with that. So the same food drives sugar higher because you don't have anything to soak it up. Your weekend became your weekend, where weekends erased all the weekday progress. 2 days of big spikes wiped out 5 days of work, and you had no sleep routine. Ghrelin and cortisol rose, the hunger hormones, and you didn't prep and you didn't move, and cravings won. Your liver was always ignored. Fatty or overworked livers push fasting sugar up in the morning. Menopause changed the way you slept and your gut microbiome and your muscle. And then you tell me, I can't eat what I used to. It's a real sign, not a flaw. You treated night lows without a quick check, and you likely overtreated your sugar, maybe thinking it was low at night when you didn't do a proper check with a finger stick, thinking the sensor that you have on your arm is actually working. You drink juice and ran high all day afterward. Sounding familiar yet? Let me tell you about some medication patterns no one sat down to explain to you. Insulin used without a plan to reduce exposure once patterns improve can mean more insulin, more weight, and worse insulin resistance. Meds like sulfonylureas push insulin up and cause low blood sugar and trigger nighttime eating, where other classes often move weight the wrong way. Some newer meds without coaching can bring UTIs or yeast infection or dehydration, like your Jardiance or SGLT2 inhibitors. And you may even think medications like that don't work, but the reality is they never told you you have to take it a half hour before breakfast to actually work. And then they gave you metformin without a B12 check. See, neuropathy plus no B12 test is a miss, because a ton of people on metformin have B12 deficiency, which can worsen neuropathy, a complication of diabetes. Beta blockers and antidepressants for some can increase appetite and cause weight gain, and some birth control is not tailored to them, so they're also gaining weight. And these appetite and cycles went off. And maybe you even tried the GLP-1 or GLP-GIP agonists like Ozempic and Mounjaro, right? And then you forced yourself to eat 3 meals a day when you weren't even hungry, or you titrated the dose too fast and you didn't have protein or a hydration plan. So the protein drops, the muscle drops, the energy tanks, you feel exhausted on the medication, your stomach's killing you, and you're having diarrhea or constipation, vomiting, heartburn, or all of the above. And worse off, the scale stalls, even though you're taking an injection once a week. Or maybe you needed the medication and you couldn't get through the coverage hurdles, and you were told you were not covered without the process to get the right option. So you gave up on what actually could have fit for you. So now that we've stopped these things tripping you up today, let me show you the engine underneath it. Secret number 2, why insulin resistance and obesity keep each other alive. Insulin is the helper that moves sugar into the cells. And when your cells stop listening, that's insulin resistance. Your body makes more insulin to push harder, but that high insulin holds fat in storage and makes hunger louder. And that's why nights win and the scale doesn't move. I want you to envision 2 big circles. One is insulin resistance, the other is obesity. Now I want to move them closer together, and you're going to see there's overlap with each of these. So with insulin resistance, you see spikes and crashes of blood sugars. Hunger hormones shooting through the roof. Insulin is high, fat stays locked. Inflammation makes insulin message weaker. The liver and muscles hinder sugar worse, so the sugars run higher and your body pushes out even more insulin in obesity. The I'm full signal doesn't land, and the I handle insulin well signal is turned down. And in the overlap, the loop lives. See, spikes and crashes make hunger louder, especially 9 to 11 p.m. You start to crave fast carbs. And it's not not just sweets. It may be chips, rice, pasta. But when you have more body fat and insulin resistance, this means your body makes more insulin for the same meal, storing even more the next time. And that fat causes inflammation, which makes insulin work worse. And then it causes short sleep and stress. Short sleep and stress lift hunger and drop planning. One side pushes the other, and that loop keeps going until we address both sides, sugar control and overeating together. Around the outside, a few more pieces matter. Low muscle, common in perimenopause, menopause, after pregnancy, or after a crash juice diet, means fewer places for the sugar to go. So underfueling and inactivity shrink the muscle and stall fat loss. Poor sleep and high stress push hunger up and planning down. And a fatty liver keeps mornings high, and the gut shifts change the hunger and tolerance. Inflammation makes insulin signals weak and hunger signals loud. If you don't attack the root causes in the loops, nights will keep winning. The weight will continue to drift up and down, or just up, and mornings stay high with your sugar. You try harder, not smarter. But if you break this loop and target these root causes, hunger will get quieter, the weight will start to move, the morning sugars will calm down, and energy will eventually even out, and life will feel doable again. You cannot run a real weight loss plan that ignores blood sugar or ignores the hunger and overeating problems. If you skip either one, the other loop will eventually win, and even though you may start to lose weight, you'll eventually put it right back on. Now let me show you the path that finally works in real life. Secret number 3, your path that actually works. Here's how we make it simple and predictable. You get a specialist-built plan that fixes what other diets missed. It addresses blood sugar and overeating together. And that's why the others didn't stick. The lessons are short and end with one simple action task for the week, so you can actually do it. And you get meal plans for the entire year, so you stop guessing. No decision paralysis, and plan on about 10 minutes a day, a short lesson, one action task, done. You can start it 2 ways. If you want help, book a quick strategy call when you join. We'll look at your real day, when hunger hits, what happens around 10:30 p.m., your work, your family rhythm, sleep, stress, travel, and we'll place you on the right starting track. We'll walk you through where to click. We'll also guide you through the online program so you know where to click and what to do first in case you haven't already started. And if you want coaching with my team and myself, then we'll set that up too, so you have weekly check-ins and accountability, and all your questions can be asked very quickly. And if you're the type of person who just wants to do the program and doesn't want to talk to anyone, totally get it. You'll also get access to our community anyway, so you're not doing it alone. So you can get started right away and just follow this step by step. We quiet insulin and hunger first and use simple plates that keep you full. And if you barely eat and still gain, we protect protein and muscle so the scale drops because fat drops. And if cravings and nighttime snacking run the show, we set your day in an order that stops the spike crash cycle so evenings calm down. And we teach you how to get rid of cravings. If you feel stuck with belly fat or a plateau or that constant tired, heavy brain, we use the same order we use in my clinic that lowers the insulin first, builds some muscles, settles sleep so your energy and progress come back. We have modules dedicated to plateaus, or how to get rid of specific cravings, or how to rewire your thoughts so your emotions don't overtake you and cause you to overeat. We'll also help you stop mindless eating. The most common message I get is that the sugars immediately leveled out and the nights were quieter, and that's the point. So if you're done being good all day and losing the fight at night, if you're done barely eating while the scale climbs, and you want the hunger-free weight loss program with sugars that stop bossing you around, join the Weight Loss and Insulin Resistance Reversal Program. The link is right below in this video. And after you enroll, book your strategy call for a quick walkthrough and starting track, or start quietly on your own. And remember, if you want coaching with me and my team, we'll set that up too, so you have the support the whole way. Either way, you're covered. Your free tools from today, since you stayed to the end, are our 7-day meal plan, week of desserts, and the glucose tracker that are also in the description. Grab them and get started tonight. I hope next week becomes the first week you're not making 100 food decisions with no plan. I'll see you inside.